Warren Buffett. He is one of the most successful investors in the world and has a net worth of over $100 billion as of November 2022. He is currently the chairman and the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway. In the latest 13F filed late Monday this week, Berkshire Hathaway has picked up roughly 6 million shares of Taiwan semiconductor manufacturer. The investment worth more than $4.1 billion in USD, with the ticker TSM in New York Stock Exchange. TSM is now Berkshire Hathaway's 10th largest position, accounted for 1.39% of the portfolio when the purchase was made. Why is Warren Buffett interested in TSM? Why did he buy? Is there anything else we are not aware of? Is this an undervalued company Warren just discovered? Before we talk about why Warren Buffett buys Taiwan semiconductor manufacturer, let's talk about the company. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, also known as TSMC, is the world's largest and best semiconductor foundry. The company delivered a fabulous Q3 results. To reflect the strong financial performance, TSM stock price has surged from low 60s to 80 per share in the last 2 weeks. TSM makes chips for fabless semiconductor firms including well-known companies like AMD, Nvidia, and Qualcomm. It's also the exclusive supplier of Apple's custom chip, which we will talk about later on. TSM has strong business dominance in the world. TSM makes the integrated circuits for customers based on their proprietary design. TSM has long benefited from semiconductor companies around the globe transitioning from being integrated device manufacturer to designers that outsource fabrication. TSM built the world's largest semiconductor design ecosystem, open innovation platform, and the company has collaborated with its customers' partners to form the most powerful force of semiconductor innovations. About 85% of worldwide semiconductor startup product, the prototype were enabled by TSMC. The company's domination of the microchip industry has been a boom to the global economy. The companies today manufacture most of the world's microchips, which are in practically everything that we've seen so far, like day-to-day life, such as cars, cell phones, washing machine, coffee makers, any electronics you can think of. To further understand TSMC's market dominance, now we need to look into the past. So this table provides the view on the global semiconductor market share from Q4 2020 to Q2 2022. Here are some highlights on Q2 2022. TSMC has been the biggest player in the foundry semiconductor market, as we can see over here. Its market share has been more than 50% since Q4 2020. Think about it. What kind of company in the world will have the 50% dominance or greater for the continuous years? If you think a company has 50% or higher like a market share, it is like the number one player in this industry. So now we see the Samsung Foundry's market share has dropped to 13% in Q2 2022. This is the first time ever seen that Samsung Foundry market share has dropped below 14% since Q4 2020. The performance of TMC has been improved. The operation efficiency, the money they have invested in the R&D, as well as their long-term operation mindsets. Roughly speaking, Samsung Foundry, they haven't really been performing as expected in the past quarters. As a result, the market share has been taken by TSMC and other companies. The other companies such as UMC, Global Foundries, and SMIC, they held on their stability in the global market semiconductor foundry market, but we don't really see too many improvement in the past few quarters. So based on this table here, we can still say that TSMC is a great benchmark for the health of semiconductor industry, considering that it manufactures 70% of the old key smartphone chipsets. That means that no TSMC, no iPhone, no Androids. The company posted a record earning in the Q3 2022, with the growing advanced semiconductor content in processing and connectivity being key factors. Another reason why Warren Buffett may be interested in TSMC is that the TSMC had long been an Apple semiconductor partner, producing Apple's self-designed system on chips for iPhones and Apple Silicon Macs. The two companies collaborate exceptionally closely, resulting in numerous benefits for Apple's devices such as power saving and improved performance. For business benefits, Apple has been outsourcing most of its chip production to TSMC since 2014. Apple's business accounted for 26% of TSMC's revenue in 2021, with the second largest was only at 10%, happened to be AMD. What worth notice is that the share has been on an uptrend from 24% in 2019 to 24.2% in 2020, all the way to 26% in 2021. The business collaboration has been going deeper and deeper between TMC and Apple. As TSMC's largest customer and the biggest driver for the new semiconductor technology, Apple is still TSMC's most loyal partner. This means that TSMC is going to expect a stable income business source from Apple. As long as Apple continues to grow, TSMC is going to be benefited accordingly. Why is TSMC able to secure so many well-known companies as its customers? What makes TSMC so special, and what are the moats TSMC may have? So the super advanced semiconductor chips, like the one produced by TSMC, are very difficult to make because of the high cost of development and the level of knowledge required, meaning that much of the production is concentrated in just a handful of suppliers. TSMC accounts for an estimated 90% of the world's super advanced computer chips, supplying tech giants including Apple, Qualcomm. Changing the supply is extremely difficult, cannot be done easily. TSMC has always insisted on building a strong in-house R&D capability. As a global semiconductor technology leader, TSMC provides the most advanced and comprehensive portfolio of dedicated foundry process technology. So TSM has invested tons of money into its R&D investment, keeping the company more competitive, staying with the market, understanding its customer with improving processes. So that means that the operation efficiency will increase. As a result, the net income will increase too. A consistent theme throughout the presentation from TSM is that the TSM is making in future technology R&D. Specifically, TSM is building a new R&D center in Hsinchu, Taiwan. Now let's take a look on the Q3 result from Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing ending September 30th, 2022. In this table, there are three key metrics that we need to focus on. One is the net revenue, net income, and the earning per share diluted. At the end of the day, the business has to bring in the positive cash flow for the business sustainability and operation. With all aspects, we want to make money. So it is a key. These are the key metrics that we want to look into to understand whether the TSM is a good company. So based on the information here, we have noticed that in Q3 2022, the net revenue for TSM is $20.3 billion with net income $9.27 billion and the earning per share diluted of 1.79. This is really good considering that there's a potential recession that we are going to face. The performance is considered to be strong. So if you look into the year-to-year growth, it's a 47.9% increase for the net revenue. This is huge. You rarely see company with net revenue growth over 20%. Anything that above 20, like we consider to be good. Like please don't talk about the growth star company, like it's not the case here. And there is a 79.6% increase for the net income. It is ridiculous. If the company can grow its net income by almost 80% on a quarter basis, oh my god, I'm going to throw my money here for sure. So now let's take a look on the quarter-to-quarter performance. Quarter-to-quarter is 14.8%, which is also very good. And there is 18.5% for the net income growth, which is also very good. So financially speaking, TSM Q3 2022 is very, very strong. This could be one of the reasons why Warren Buffett was very interested in buying the company shares. Now let's take into the past performance for TSMC. From this graph, you can see that the revenue year to year has been growing steadily. Now we are talking about the almost $72 billion revenue ending September 30th, 2022. The operating income had grown accordingly, which is very good. That means that the operating margins either stays the same or be improved. And from this graph, we can tell that the operating margin had been improved from 40, almost 41% all the way to the 47%. It means that the more business TSM is going to get with a better process efficiency, or I should say that the efficient production since it's making chips providing to its customers. That means the operating income in such process will be benefited accordingly. It's very nice to see, and I'm hoping that TSMC is going to have a sustainable business and keep growing its revenue and having a higher operating income due to a better efficiency, and the investment of its massive R&D is going to benefit the company in the long run. So with all this being seen and understood, I would say TSMC has a very solid balance sheet and financial performance, and I hope that it's continue to do so in the next few years. Here's the highlights of the financial summary about Q3 2022. What we should notice here is that the gross margin is 60.4%, which is ridiculous, with the operating margin of 50.6%, which is really high, and the net profit margin of 45.8%. Considering that TSMC is a huge company in the global scale, there are many things that the smaller firm or the company that don't have to consider. With all the risks and external factors considered, when the company can achieve such strong financial metrics, like it is a very great success to consider as well. So we can see that the operating expense has been going accordingly, which is not a big surprise to be honest, considering that there is it's actually getting more business. Of course, there is like HR costs, electricity, utility bill, that those kind of stuff to be added into the capital operation as well. Other operating income decrease, which is not too bad. I need to dig it out what that is, but it's very small number here. Yeah, at the end of the day, I think it's really good, and I'm really looking forward to see what TSMC is going to surprise in the next quarter as well. Now we know Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company has high margin of safety. It has a quality service. That's the reason why most of the major well-known branding company work with them. And the stock price has been corrected since the beginning of the year. That means that there is discounted price for the attractive valuation. The long-term operation mindset for the management matches to the long-term mindset that Warren Buffett has. Warren Buffett is fairly known for buying companies with favorable long-term prospect, strong profitability, a healthy balance sheet, and an attractive valuation. TSMC matches every single test that Warren Buffett has in mind. So, from my view, what Berkshire Hathaway has done will be handsomely rewarded once the market gets through the current industry downturn. And I think Warren Buffett just make another good call to buy the TSM shares. So if you guys like my videos, please give me a like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.